I get a 10 of your favorite tips and tricks for Microsoft Excel. Let me show you how we can split names into two separate columns in Microsoft Excel. I'm guessing that you got a similar situation to me. You got the full names, name and surname in just one column. Let's split it into two columns. So I click letter A above to select the whole thing. Then be sure you move to the Data tab at the top. We need to open Data ribbon. There's a special tool called Text to Columns. Click on that. And from here, you will have a preview of our text to column. For now, it's exactly the same as we got before. So let's click Next and add some rules. In my case, I don't have any comma or anything in between those. So I will use the spacebar as the separation, and as you can see, it's correctly moved what is after the spacebar. So in my case, that's the surname to the next column. That's exactly what I need. So I click Finish and I'm done. This way, you can very quickly split names into two separate columns. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can unhide all rows and columns with just one click. Whenever you see this line at the top or on the left, it's indicating hidden column or row. So right now I got at least 3, maybe more. Be sure we are in the Home tab, then search for Format. It can be on the left or can be on the right, depends on your resolution. So Format, open up this menu, and from here you will got option for visibility, and you got hide or unhide rows and columns. If you want this to be applied to everything, you can just do a Command A to select all, or click at the very top here between rows and columns, between A and 1, this empty square. This is the shortcut for selection of the whole spreadsheet. Then head to Format and select Unhide Rows, and then again I unhide columns. And this way you unhide everything in this spreadsheet. As you can see, I got 3 columns and 2 rows now showing up as normal. Alright, so that's how you can do it. Simply search for the Format option here in the Home tab. That's the first tab at the top. Let me show you how we can merge multiple cells into single cell using Excel on Mac. Simply click and hold your mouse down to select more than one cell. In my case, I select 3 different cells. Now I can already see Merge and Center at the top here in the Home menu. So if you click on that, you got option to merge cells. And now those 3 cells become 1. Let me just put a color in so you can see it easier. It will work in the vertical manner as well. So click and hold, select more than one cell. Keep in mind the first cell I selected is white, but it's still selected. Now hit here, merge, and we merge those cells here vertically. Now it's one cell. If you want to unmerge them, you can click merge again, and you will end up with separate cells now. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can display fractions in a single cell in Microsoft Excel. By default, you will see your fractions as this kind of decimal with 0 point something, right? That's a default state. But we can change how they are displayed by selecting the area that you want to affect and then changing the data type. So it's general right now, but we can change that to fractions. And as you can see already, it's displayed differently. So 0.5 is now 1/2. So we change how the fraction is displayed very quickly. And we can take it even further. You can click More, Formats, and then inside Fractions, you can select exactly what kind of fraction display you want to show, even like out of 10. Okay, take a look. Now this is 5/10. It's really easy. Simply select the area where you already type your fractions using the decimals, and then you can easily change that in here. As the data type fractions, you can go for more as well. That's how you can easily display your fractions in single cell. You don't need to use 2 or 3 cells to type 5/10. All right. Let me show you how we can add a picture inside the cell in Microsoft Excel. Select the cell, then head to Insert tab at the very top, and you will see options for pictures. There are 2 ways we can put picture inside that little cell or place it over multiple cells. So let's try the first method. Place in cell. I will browse my computer and put it from my machine. Here it is. It's really tiny. Of course, if we scale this up, so if I make this cell wider and also taller, the image will scale with it, but it will stick only inside one cell. We could try to merge multiple cells to increase this area as well, to give more space for that certain image. But we will have more freedom if we insert the same image, that is rather large image, over cells. So I go back to the Insert tab, Pictures, and now I selecting the second option, Place over cells. And now it's load the image in the original size, and I can move it around this spreadsheet and I can position this exactly as I want. You may notice there are also some additional options for the picture format at the top, so we can change contrast, we can adjust colors, we can even try to remove backdrop. With the built-in background remover, there are some effects that you may be familiar with. They're exactly the same effects that you can choose in PowerPoint, so they're kind of universal across. So we can apply those effects, pictures, effects, glows, and all that stuff is here as well. Now I took this picture away from that cell by clicking this icon, and I can click it again and then click on that cell to put it in. So we can take it out or we can put it in. How can we increase the size of a cell in Excel? Cells are organized in rows and columns, so we cannot increase size of just one cell. If you want to make this cell wider, you need to make the whole column wider at the very top here. If you want to make this cell taller, you must do the very same things with the row. Alternatively, you could merge several cells together to get a larger area. So in that case, we head to Home and search for Merge. And in that case, we merge several cells. So kind of one cell is taking 3 columns and 3 rows. Keep in mind, we can resize rows and columns precisely. So if you right click on the row here, you can have a row height and you can precisely type it in here, like 32, okay. And I got exactly 32. I can do the same thing for column here. Right click on the column and I can change the width of the column and precisely type 32, okay. So that's how you can resize your cell by resizing rows and columns or merging them together to give more space for one single large cell. How to get alternative row colors in Microsoft Excel. First, select the area that should be affected by this change. If you want to select the whole document, simply click at the corner here. Then, be sure you are still in the Home tab, because we need to select Format as Table from here. If you click on that, you will see many pre-made styles. So simply select the one that got alternate colors. Alright, so let's say I want this gray one. Click on the first one, affect the whole document, OK. And here it is. We got the alternative color for our rows. As you can see, they are gray or white. And now you can start putting your data in. In most cases, you will need just a smaller area. So in that case, be sure that you make the selection first, like that. Then again, format as table and select the style with the alternative colors for the rows. Confirm the area, and here it is, a smaller table like that. Let me show you how we can insert current date and current time into a cell in Microsoft Excel. So here I am, and I already list out important shortcuts for today's lesson. Control and semicolon. So I press Control and semicolon same time, and it will give me a current date. Let's try again, Control and semicolon. It's the same shortcut on both Mac and Windows. We're talking about Control on Mac, not Command. Keep that in mind. And for adding time, it's a different shortcut for Windows and different shortcut for Mac. So on Windows, you will have to press Control, Shift, and semicolon, 3 buttons. But on Mac, we just press Command and semicolon. And here's the current time. Here's the current time. Of course, we can combine those 2 shortcuts, so I can press Command semicolon for time, space bar, and then Control semicolon for date. So I got time and date in one column. So this is the way how we can very quickly, just with the shortcut from the keyboard, insert date and time in Microsoft Excel. Blacking out certain cells or columns can be a great way to reduce visual overload in Excel. The easiest way to do it is to simply click on the cell and then select the fill color for that cell. Black color will do. We can select a range, or you can black out the whole column just by clicking on the letter at the top, column G, black. You can do the same thing with the row, so row 12, black. Alright, sometimes we want this to happen automatically based on the value of the cell or lack of value. In that case, we can refer to conditional formatting. Head to Format menu at the top and select Conditional Formatting. Here we can create some rules. I'm using the classic style, and I format only the cells that contain, in my case, that will be a specific value, that will be exact 0. So the cells that got 0 in will be format. In my case, I will format them with the custom format. I want this to have a black fill. And that's it. Click OK. And with this rule, all of the cells with value 0 are automatically blacked out. So this can be a really time saver. If I change this 4 here to 0, it's black. I didn't need to do anything because conditional formatting is checking for this value 0 and blacking out those center cells. So that's how you can use the black color to manage a visual overload of spreadsheet in Excel. How can we delete blank rows in our Excel table? With the small document like that, we could actually just right-click on the number of the row, so row number 3, and pick delete. But that's usually not the case. Usually we got really large tables, large data sets. So in that case, select your table, select your range, or in case it's really huge, you can select the whole document like that by clicking here at the corner. In my case, I got this table here. And then we're going to use F5. We need to trigger go-to function. So I click F5 and I got this go-to window. I will click special because I want to go to blanks only. So I click blanks and confirm with OK. And now all of those blank rows are selected. So if I go to the top, and click delete, they will be gone. So it's a really effective option because it will select all of the rows for you. You don't need to search for them. But you must be careful because if you got incomplete data set, let me show you that. I will undo. Let's say this cell for the name here is empty. If you got incomplete data set like this and we use the same function, so we click F5, special, go to blanks, OK. It's also select that blank cell. So if I click delete now, I also delete that whole incomplete row. So keep in mind this method is only effective when you got complete rows. No blanks in cells. So in that case, you will need to develop some kind of formula to determine that those rows should be deleted or no. That will be covered in another video. I hope this will be helpful for you and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye.